brainstorming with my husband, I worked really hard to please others. I'm gonna test the microphone and see how this sounds. Hi! Today I'm coming to you from Sunset at Brooklyn Bridge, on Brooklyn Bridge. Today's video is going to be deep because I have done this reflection of my younger self, but I've done it in the past, and it was usually in some personal development course. And today I'm going to do it for you. And I apologize, the lighting is not the greatest. I didn't bring a ring light with me, and I don't actually have a tiny little one, so I guess I might have to invest in one. I just saw somebody using one here just a moment ago. But today's video is about reflecting on me. And I was thinking, because there is different parts of me and different parts of my younger self, so I was wondering which one should I share? Maybe which one should I share? Brainstorming with my husband what I feel like I should be sharing in this video. It's also the first video. I learned from him that his childhood is so different. His younger version, positive, he enjoyed the simple things, life, he had fun. And when I think of my younger self, I think of a lot of suffering. I suffered a lot as a kid, but to really look at my younger self and how I handle stuff, I really wanted to be accepted, loved, cared for me to feel like I bring value. I worked really hard to please others. Now, I can't say that I was like so blinded by it, because what I would do is I would take certain action that I felt was the right thing to do, and most of the time when you do things from your heart, they end up well. But then you realize that even though this is helping, it's not, I don't know if I can think of an example right now, it's not like the right thing, and it's specifically not the right thing for me. So as a young kid, I struggled to find, I shouldn't say just young kid, so as my younger self really struggled to find herself, her way in the world, her place. I remember wanting to play sports, and I was good at it. And I grew up in a tiny village, and for middle school we had to go to another village nearby. And going to that village, the school was a little bit bigger, so we were about, maybe the school was about 200 students, right? So there was a tiny little bit more opportunity than where I was. Students of like, total of 30 students in the school, in an elementary. And I wanted to play sports. So, sit down. ¿Quieres sentar un momentico o no? Au, si quieres. ¿Quieres? Ah, perfecto. Sí. No. No. Okay. When I was younger, I moved to the United States, so my experience beforehand and after is, in some areas of my life, are very different, because I grew up on a countryside, on a farm, and then I moved to a suburb of New York City, and that is like two different worlds. The part that I am gonna share with you today is this young girl who suffered a lot. For some reason, her childhood, my teens, my early 20s are full of suffering, constant suffering. And now where I am in my life, it's a completely different story. I don't suffer like I did before, but she just really wanted to be loved, cared for, accepted. She wanted to feel part of a family. And she wanted to feel like she belongs and that she brought value. For some reason, she never felt like that in her family. She never felt like she could get anything right. Everything was wrong. She never felt smart enough. Like, my brother was the smart one. My brother was the funny one. My brother was the capable one. Then my brother was the one that would receive everything from the family because he's a man and I'm a girl. And there was so much uncertainty to my life that when I look at myself, I see someone who wanted to please people, who really wanted to be doing things right, didn't want to make any mistakes. And because often, like, any little thing that I would do would trigger my grandma in some ways, and she would say something to me and then I would feel really bad. What I would do is then I would like retrieve and not take risk. I recall just speaking up quite often, and I like that part of me because that part of me was trying to find her way, find her voice. Unfortunately, she didn't know how to most of the time speak up, how to express, how to ask for what she needs. She was mainly just defending herself, defending, because in her environment, she always felt like she had to defend herself. So I see her as a pleaser. I see someone who works really hard to please others, to do the right thing, to make the right choices. I also wanted to choose the right career. So my family was saying, like, you should be doing this and this. And I didn't connect to that. The young Miljana did not connect to those things. She was in many ways rebellious. I didn't smoke or drink or go to parties or anything like that, but I would rebel in other ways where I would do what's expected of me, but I would be curious in knowing what's more out there. And one thing that I would say about me is, it's something that my grandma would call me a gypsy for. She'd be like, well, you're just a gypsy because you have no shame to ask for anything. As a kid, like, if I wanted something and I felt that I could get it from my family, I would go and ask for that. And I remember when I moved to the United States, I explored of possibly becoming a police officer in the future. I also explored to see if I wanted to join the army. I explored becoming a lawyer. I explored would I want to be a doctor. I explored going into finance. And when I was in high school specifically, hey, I'm hungry. This Miljana was someone who had a lot of energy. She absolutely loved to dance. She always smiled and laughed at everything. She enjoyed nature, loved nature. I mean, I was majority of the time in nature with animals on the farm. And she had a lot of responsibilities as a very young. Like, I would make cheese, I would milk cows, I would be a shepherd. After school, kids would go and hang out with other kids, and me and my brother would have to go home and help our grandparents with the farm a lot of times. There were some times when we didn't, but majority of the times we did. A lot of times we had to do that. So what I would say about Miljana as a younger self is she had this beauty around her that would really... We're just gonna wait just in case the sound doesn't pick up this well. My microphone is not a fancy one, so